Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 4 of our ITIL4 Foundations training. I'll make this one public on YouTube. I haven't made the other ones public, but I thank you for joining us. We'll look at some practical applications of ITIL4. That's all we'll look at today. Let me share my screen and we'll look at some slides. All right. Look at real life. Disclaimer, this is training meant to educate. We're not affiliated with Axelos, ITIL, ITIL4, and all the content and graphics are wholly owned by Axelos. They retain all rights. So we have looked at the service value chain where a demand comes in, and that could be something we know, something we don't know. So it could be something off the self-service catalog, or it could be a new project. We engage with our business people to get requirements, but we also might engage with other business units internal, like finance or security. We'll work within the plan and improve and look at how do we obtain and build the right parts for the solution. And so let's look at this one. So this is, you want a new SaaS application. Your business people, they come to you and they say, we want this new business intelligence SaaS doohickey widget. So you see the demand, you'll engage to understand the requirements. You'll use the engage to review the options with the requester. So part of that, the first engage is talking to all the stakeholders, develop the requirements, come back to the requester, and then you'll either obtain or build, since it's SaaS, you're going to obtain the right solution, which is the products and services which create value, co-create value in ITIL4 terms. So let's look at another one. You're implementing a new ERP system. Your company doesn't have SAP, Oracle, or one of the others. So you'll have an opportunity that comes through. There's a request for a new solution. You'll engage to understand the requirements. You'll obtain the hardware. You see obtain build. Then you'll see the design transition. You'll design the software. You obtain the software, all the different pieces and integrations. You'll engage back with your stakeholders for the approval to move to the next, move it to test or QA, whatever your organization calls it. You'll transition, you'll engage again for approval to go live. You'll deliver and support it, and you'll continually engage. One of the things that we have said often is that while ITIL4 has engage over on the side, it's really a swim lane all the way across. And so you'll want to, as you consider ITIL4, that engage with the requester and the business unit, you'll want to do that often. Let's dive even deeper. Make my screen bigger just because some of the text and everything gets smaller. Let's make everything just, maybe that's a little too big. All right. Here we go. So if we look at the plan stage up here at the top of the service value chain, the purpose is ensure a shared understanding of the vision, the status, the improvement for all 4 dimensions. If you remember those were people, an organization. We talk about technology and data, information as number 2. We looked at value streams and processes as number 3, and we looked at third parties, vendors, all the outside people as the 4th dimension. And so every solution is going to have at least 2, if not all 4 of those. So your plan stage will have your inputting policies and your outputting strategic plans. You're inputting requirements and knowledge and information, And your outputs are portfolio decisions because you're developing the strategy, right? You're inputting your improvement status, you're outputting your improvement opportunities. You're inputting your understanding of third-party components from Engage, and you're outputting your product and service portfolio. Hopefully that makes sense. So each one of these will have inputs and outputs, even though they're activities. If you think of every activity you do in this world, it has inputs and has outputs. This is no different. Make this just a little bit smaller. There we go. Now let's look at improve down at the bottom. Ensure continual improvement of products, services, and practices across the value chain activities of the 4 dimensions. So what does that mean, Jeffrey? It means that we care about having a mindset of improvement where it doesn't stop. We're always getting better across everything we do, products, services, practices, and across those 4 dimensions. So our inputs will be product and service performance information. So think of like metrics, things of that nature. Our outputs will be improvement plans. Inputs will be stakeholder feedback and performance information, knowledge, info, all that stuff. And then we output centralized improvement governance. So if you think about even improvement has governance. And so what else do you see? And so I see a lot of inputs, right? So your improve could be how you obtain and build, how you engage, how you design transition. You see how that is a lens like my glasses that you see through. Some of the other outputs are contract and agreement requirements, because if you're obtaining and building from a third party, maybe you want to improve how you do your agreements. That makes sense, right? You may want to improve your service performance, which can help your design and transition. One of the key things about the service value chain is it's not a series of steps like the service lifecycle in ITIL4. It will bounce around some and not be linear. Let's look at the next one. Engage. So we talked a little bit about engage. Move the slide over just a smidge for you. That's too far. All right. The purpose is providing a good understanding of stakeholder needs. And that stakeholder, while it includes those who requested, it could also include your risk management, your security, your finance, all the other stakeholders and their needs. And transparency is a big deal, right? So you think about this engaging in a transparent way is huge. And it's a continual engagement, like I just spoke of, all the way through the co-creation of value. And it seeks to create this great relationship with all those stakeholders. And, if you've managed stakeholders, you're weighing each of them's needs against the whole. We'll look at a couple of the inputs. So you have your product and service portfolio provided by your plan, your strategy. And so your output could be consolidated demands and opportunities for the plan. Let's look at the third one down. You have incidents and service requests from users, information on completion of requests, changes, and incidents. And so if you're engaged, you want to take that back up to your stakeholders and get feedback and then use that as an output for deliver and support. How can we do that better? And even on improve, right? You want to fourth one's just another example. You want to take your knowledge of your third-party suppliers and create improvement opportunities. We should always be striving for improvement. You also want to improve your contracts and your service performance. So whenever you think of any part of this, think of each one has an input and an output, more than one usually, right? All right, so now let's look at design and transition. The purpose is to ensure that products and services continually meet stakeholder expectations for quality, costs, and time to market. So if you think of design and transition and that definition, ensure that all products and services, so everything that we deliver, continually meets expectations from the stakeholders. See, that's the engage that has to go all the way across for quality, costs, and time to market. Everything we design, everything we transition into a live environment, we have to make sure that the stakeholders are okay with quality, cost, and time to market. So if we look at the third one down, it improved. So we input these improvement opportunities. And so we're wanting to improve our quality, our costs, and our time to market, right? So if we look at the fourth one down, service components from obtain and build, we want to make sure that they all satisfy the quality, costs, and time to market. And then you can also see how that would be layered in with the third parties as well. Hopefully this makes sense. So service design transition, which I think the definition is a little bit different than what mine would be. Just remember that it tries to ensure that stakeholders' expectations are met for quality, cost, and time to market. And we see this today in full flavor of stakeholders need something now, but we have all these supply chain issues that they can't get it. And so this is part of where we need to make sure we reset expectations or deliver on them. Obtain and build. The purpose is to ensure that service components are available when needed and where needed and meet agreed upon expectations. Once again, you see that word expectations, and you know that comes from engage. So you may have, let's look at the top one. Your inputs may be the architecture plans. So you need these architecture policies and all that stuff before you obtain and build, don't you? Because you have to know what guidelines to use, what architecture. And your output will be service components for deliver and support. Let's look at the fifth one down. You have change requests from deliver and support that now you have to obtain and build so you can put it live. That makes sense, right? And the bottom one, you have knowledge and information about your third-party service providers and your service components from Engage. You have this knowledge from Engage because remember, they're dealing with all the stakeholders that now you have to filter into how you obtain and build. Let's look at deliver and support. Purpose is to ensure that services are delivered and supported according to agreed upon specifications and stakeholder expectations. We see stakeholder expectations. We know that Engage has to be involved. So let's look at that definition just a little bit deeper. We, in this activity, are ensuring that services and products are delivered and supported according to specifications from Engage. That seems pretty straightforward, right? If you think of an ITIL4 that's service operations. So our inputs are new and changed products and services, change enablement, change management. Outputs are services delivered. Third one down, service components from obtain and build, or what we're inputting. We're outputting product and service information to be used back upstream. Always have those improvement opportunities. And even the bottom one, the knowledge and information about third-party service providers and service components that we get from knowledge and support, we need to push that back upstream for our design and transition. I wanted to take a short video and look at each one of these deeper. If service management leadership can help you and your organization, please reach out to us. Follow us on LinkedIn. Listen to our podcast. We have a lot of videos here on YouTube. Connect with me on LinkedIn, Jeffrey Tiefertiller, and please refer service management leadership to opportunities for service management, experience management, asset management, or business continuity. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great day.